So welcome to the class, EPPE3123, Industry and International Business. Tonight we're going to study the topic on network economics, specifically network effects. Yes, this one. And we're going to focus the applications of this network economics. Specifically, again, I repeat, network effects, okay, on R&D. Because we can apply this to many areas, many issues, many problems. But this one, I want to focus on R&D, research and development. So what you will learn, what is network economics and economic theory behind network economics and how network economics is related to R&D, and the concept of emergence. Emergence is very important, and we want to apply this when we talk about R&D. Okay, R&D. We want to focus the concept of emergence on spatial agglomeration, which is clustering of firms in one location. That's agglomeration. And there's another economics, we call it economics of agglomeration. The efficiency and the saving of cost, higher revenue, higher profits because of being clustered together in one geographic location. That's agglomerations. And then we want to apply this. So the implications to R&D and implications to firm. So first is, what is network economics? First, economics is a study on how to allocate scarce resources. Then network, we have to understand network. What is network? It is, if I can show you here, nodes. And links. So image example only. Sorry, quite slow, my internet. Yes, nodes and links. This is nodes 1, 2, 3, whatever the number. Nodes connected, interacting among each other through links. So nodes and links. Through this, we have the network effect. And this link can be physical and can be not physical through that network of supply and demand, which is not connected in a physical way, but we do this anyway, the link, to show there's a link. The link may be physical, and more often it's not physical. between you and me as a buyer, we're not connected through a string, whatever, but we have the network. That network effect is going on. So network consists of nodes. The nodes can be actors or agents, buyers and sellers, consumers, producers. So nodes representing actors or agents, and the links just now. So it is a study of how scarce resources are allocated with the forces among nodes of economic agents and their links. And how is it the network economics is different from conventional economics? Externalities are endogenous, which is inside economic factors of economic forces of supply and demand. Wait, what are externalities? Economic activity generates cost and or benefits. Cost mean reduction in your payoff. Benefits mean increase in your payoff. Can be profit, increase, and so on. Some of which are not incurred or enjoyed, the cost not incurred, the benefits, the profits, the money, the revenue not enjoyed by the person performing the activity. Endogenous externalities, and this externality, number one, it is external to the firm, but it's endogenous within the forces of supply and demand. It fits in within the supply and demand, even though it is external to the firm. So externalities which are endogenous here, they work through the network that creates increasing returns to scale. So we're talking here about increasing return to scale. So what is increasing return to scale? We have constant return to scale. You put one input, you add one more input, the output will increase by 1. That's constant return to scale. If you add one input, the output increase by more than 1. The output, okay, increase by more than 1. That's increasing return to scale. On the other hand, if you add one more input, the output will increase by less than 1. That's decreasing return to scale. So here, in the context of network effects and network economics, we're dealing with increasing return to scale. Oh yeah. What is increasing return to scale is already here, what I explained just now. Can I knock this off? Oh yeah. If inputs are increased by half, outputs will increase by more than half. If inputs are increased by 1, outputs will increase by more than 1. If inputs are increased by 2, outputs will increase by more than 2. And that's what increasing return to scale. Economies of scale equals decreasing in marginal cost when output is increased so that the average cost go down. This is economies of scale, the graph here, which is average cost will go down. So we gonna see here are they the same? Network effects, network economics, and uh, economics of scale, are they the same? Next in this, network externalities resemble, look or looks like the same. When we use the word resemble, means they are not the same. Resemble means not the same, but they look alike and they're not the same. Resemble economies of scale, but are not considered as such. This because they are a function. This the network externalities resemble economies of scale. We just saw just now economies of scale. When you increase more output, your average cost will go down. That's economies of scale. Because of more output, average cost goes down. So network externalities, on the other hand, they resemble economies of scale, but network externalities are not and cannot be considered as such the same as economies of scale. Cannot be considered as the same as economies of scale because they refer to network externalities. They are a function. These network externalities are a function of the number of users of a good or services in an industry, not of the production efficiency within the business. So this network externalities, the difference between this network externalities from economies of scale, network externalities is because of the more users of that goods or that products. That product can be goods or services because of the number of users, more number of users. So the network externalities is being fed into a positive feedback of that fits into the increase in returns. So economies of scale external to the firm or external to the industry or industry-wide, okay, external to the firm, which is industry-wide economies of scale, are only considered example of network externalities if they are driven by demand-side economics. So before I go on, one economist, Paul Krugman, I hope I have his textbook here. I've found that he's among the few economists that includes the or included add in one chapter inside his textbook, microeconomics textbook, one chapter on network economics among the few economists. So so he's into this. How can I get this out? So he graduated from MIT and Princeton. Okay, station now. Let's go here. I'm gonna find if there's a textbook that I see. It's not here. It's my office, but he added one chapter which, unlike any other textbook, microeconomics textbook, they don't have, except this. uh, Professor Krugman had a chapter on network economics, the last chapter. So now working at this in New York, the university, also columnist and a Nobel Prize winner. Uh, his theory is new trade theory and new economic geography, which I follow as well. Of course, I'm teaching international economics, industry, and so on, and trade, international trade. And I also follow closely with new economic geography. And of course, we are almost the same area, international trade. Um, Professor at MIT and later in Princeton in New Jersey, USA as well. So he graduated from Yale, yeah, Yale and MIT, Yale and MIT, PhD from MIT. Okay, let's go back to the note. I just want to mention one professor from so-called mainstream, but really he's kind of he's new Keynesian. Oh, I closed it. The, he's new Keynesian economics. So he's kind of uh, at the side of the mainstream, on the edge of mainstream. Um, and we are similar in terms of our interest and our field as well. So that's why. And he has a chapter on our second last topic in the book, um, on complex systems, cities and complex system. He wrote a chapter on that. So in a way, we are similar. Only people who like this kind of thing will go into this. I'm not, the kind of economist that will study inflation, that type of thing. We study about industry and then, so when we talk about this network economics, which has to do with network externalities, we want to go into what we call network effects. Because from network economics, which refers to network externalities, that externalities create network effects, which is a change in the benefit. Benefit can be more sale, more revenue, more profits, more income, benefit, surplus. Change in the benefit and agent derives from a product, a good. I should change it to product so that you understand, you can catch it quickly. A change in the benefit, which is surplus, that an agent gets from a product when the number of other agents are consumers, buyers, or we use the term agents, okay? When the number of other agents consuming the same kind of goods changes, that changes because of the working of network effects, which is a product's value goods, a product's value to an individual is greater when many other people consume the same product. It is common in technology-driven sectors. Example, long ago, telegraphs in 1980s, 1990s, fax machine and software. Now, operating system, Android, iOS, all these technology-driven sectors, very relevant that we see network effects. Because there is what we call Metcalfe law. Who's Metcalfe? Again, MIT. Robert Metcalfe. This Robert Metcalfe, 77 years old, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, again MIT, 1969. Entrepreneur who contributed to development of the internet of 1970s, co-invented the Ethernet. Ethernet is like a LAN, LAN, local area network, LAN, local area network within a certain location. For example, MIT, before the internet, they were using Ethernet within MIT and across to perhaps a number of other universities with Harvard and so on. So Ethernet. This is side story only, so better I show that to you now, because this is part of our class as well on technology and the net. Before the internet, before the www World Web, a family of wired computer networking technologies commonly used in local area networks, LAN, metropolitan area networks, in a city, and wide area network when commercially introduced in 1980 and first standardized in 1983 as IEEE. Let's see. By the way, slow because I'm using the Wi-Fi here, quite far from the source. Ethernet is a family. Okay. Ethernet is widely used in homes and industry and internet so internetworkings. History. Okay, let's look at. Ethernet was developed at Xerox PLC, not because of the Xerox, but because of that Metcalfe from MIT between 73 and 74 as a means to allow Alto computers to communicate with each other within that location only. Remember, no internet yet at that time that we have today. It was inspired by the Robert Metcalfe that we're going to study tonight, had studied as part of his PhD thesis and was originally called the Alto Aloha Network. The idea was first documented in a memo that Metcalfe wrote on May 22, 1973, where he named it here exists on omnipresent completely. I don't want to read because it's short of time. In 1975, Xerox filed a patent application listing Metcalfe and the other guys here as the inventors. In 1976, after the system was deployed at Park, Metcalfe and Box published a seminal paper, and Robert Crane, Garner, and so on. He convinced Digital Equipment. And Digital Equipment was a manufacturer at the time of computer DEC. We're not gonna read all. I'm just gonna scan. So an Ethernet adapter card for IBM PC was released in 1982, and by 1985, 3Com had sold 100,000. So IBM's own PC network product competed with Ethernet for the PC. Okay, let's skip. That was the original Ethernet. This is a modern Ethernet. So we're gonna and this I saw it by myself as well, the Ethernet at that time. connection device for a local network only before the internet that we have today. Okay, yeah. So Metcalfe. So perhaps for the first time, you guys come across the word Ethernet, and for me, it's not. When I was a student, I saw it already. Sorry, my internet is Wi-Fi is slow. I'm not wired. This is my Wi-Fi. I'm gonna have to close some of the other application running in the background that will slow me down. And perhaps because I'm streaming to my YouTube live now, that takes a lot of what do you call this, bytes. I'm gonna get back to where I was on Wiki. Oh, this way. I got here. Yeah. So while waiting, this Metcalfe law has got to do with the power of two. Okay. Engineer internet of 1970s, which at that time was Ethernet, also invented Ethernet. Three-com Metcalfe's law. This is Metcalfe's law. States that the financial value or influence of a telecommunication network is proportional to the square of the number of connected users of the system. The law is named for Metcalfe and first proposed in 1980, albeit not in terms of users, but rather compatible something. Yeah. Which I don't want to click yet because of my internet is slow, which describes the effect of telecommunication networks. Made also several predictions which failed to come to pass, including forecasting the demise of the internet during 1990s. He forecasted, but he was wrong. But his contribution is the Metcalfe law, which we're going to study in a moment from my slides. So Metcalfe has received an award. This is engineering, electrical engineering, honor, national medal. Okay, I'm going to skim quickly. The Turing Award. This is the Turing. When it comes to innovation and complex system, there's a Turing. Okay, highest distinction in computer science, professor of innovation and entrepreneurship. Yeah, perhaps similar to me in this only, innovation. But I'm not entrepreneur. I cannot teach entrepreneurship. I teach only technology innovation. I want to get into entrepreneurship, but time is limited. So in a way, we are similar in that type of innovation, liking about technologies, and of course, he's engineers. He's engineer, electrical engineer, computer science, but me from economics and business. Was born Brooklyn, father. Okay. Graduated from MIT. Again, MIT is actually where technologies are born and transported to other places, to Silicon Valley. And Silicon Valley, there's one university there. What is it? So Silicon Valley is in the San Francisco Bay. That doesn't come up to my mind quickly. But look at this. MIT is the mother of technologies. Electrical engineering, industrial management, and also attended Harvard, which is about 10 minutes from MIT, Harvard. MIT and Harvard, the distance is like, if you're from UKM, you have to go to Kajang, shorter than Kajang. From UKM, maybe just before Kajang, so very near. So what is it? This Metcalfe law. Yes. And network effects. You see, right away you're going to see network effects. Metcalfe law states that the financial value, the worth of something, the worth of a product, the value of a product in the eyes of a consumer is proportional to the square of the number of users of the same product and the number of users of the same product to the power of 2. That's the Metcalfe law. Proportional to the square, power of 2, 2 on the top. Yeah, right here. N to the power of 2 of the users. N is the users, or the buyers, the purchasers, the consumers of the same product. So the law is named after Metcalfe, proportional, albeit it is users, albeit at that time, not in terms of users, but rather of comparable communicating devices at that time. For example, fax machine, telephones, It later became associated with uses on the Ethernet. Metcalfe's law characterizes many of the network effects of communication technologies and networks such as the internet, social networking, and World Wide Web. Former chairman of U.S. Federal Communication Commission said that this law gives the most understanding of the workings of the internet. Metcalfe's law is related to the fact that the number of unique possible connections in a network of n nodes can be expressed mathematically as the triangular number n minus 1 over 2, which is asymptotically proportional to the n to the power of 2. This law has often been illustrated using the example of fax machine. So perhaps you are born late in you're born in the year 2000. Perhaps you've never seen for yourself what is a fax machine. This is a fax machine. You put your paper inside here. You put it here. This is you put here. It's like a printer. You put the paper. Okay, of course. That paper, you write something. You write a letter. Okay, a letter, and you put inside there, and you dial the number, phone number. Sorry, fax number. Fax number is just the other. It's not phone number. You cannot call. Well, it's a fax number. You dial the fax number, and then the other side will receive your letter or whatever that you. Okay. So using the the optical technology, optical camera type, and that optical technology is the information is captured and turned into electronic data transferred over the internet to another transport over the connected phone lines, actually, because it's fax is using phone line, no internet yet at that time. So now we're going to study in our final chapter, disruptive technology. I don't see anywhere else now that people are using fax machine. Fax machine has become obsolete, OBSOLET, obsolete, no more, because of the disruptive technology, disruptive innovation of the World Wide Web, WWW, and with the internet. So we don't need fax machine anymore, unless for some reason, I don't know. So the fax machine became the prime example of scholars to give when they want to discuss network effect, because it's really a network. Okay, I want to add to this, because I read up here, characterizes many of the network effects of communication technologies and networks such as the internet, social networking. Yes, and yes, it's already there. Social networking. I thought, well, I didn't see it. I just read it. It is social networking also part of the network effects. Not only communication technologies, physical communication, also social networking, like Facebook today, Instagram, and so on. A single fax machine is useless. One single fax machine is useless. you cannot communicate with anyone. The more people have fax machine, the more possibility that you can connect with the other people there. So a single fax machine is useless, but the value of every fax machine increases with the total number of fax machines in the network. Because again, you must remember from my slide, network externality has to do with the number of users. So we seeing the word over and over again. Number of users. Because the total number of people with whom each user may send and receive the fax increases. Fax documents. You send documents through fax machine. Likewise, in a social network that we having today, X, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, WeChat, the greater the number of users with the service, the more valuable to you, to us as the user, the service becomes to the community. So let's go to our slides. Oh, not this one. Oh yeah, right here. So Metcalfe law. Again, what I've been talking about number of users is network externality has to do with more people using that product, the more value to you. That's network externalities that's feeding into the network economics through what we call network effects. It's based on more users using that product, more value to you. So telegraph, fax machine, okay, this network, Metcalfe law. Metcalfe's law, the usefulness of a network is proportional to the square of the number of people it connects. For example, here we have two cities with 100 people. If we assume that they're not communicating within, assume that in one city, 100 people, city A, 100 people, we assume within that city, they're not communicating among each other within city. So we want to make that the model, our model connecting or communicating with people in other city. So suppose there are two cities of equal size, 100 people each. City A, city B, 100 people. A 100 people, B 100 people. So how many possible connection we can have? It's 100 times 100. We build one go. So this is Metcalfe law. How can I type a note? Words, yeah. Am I getting it? Mm, this is because it is heavy. Let's see if I can get from. Just I want to get. Oh, goes there also. No escape. I just want to get a empty sheet. Yeah. I just want to get a blank document too. Okay. Okay. So, uh, feedback from you. Can you see on your screen what I'm typing now? Can you? Feedback from you? Oh, can can you see on the screen?
Can, Doctor. You can see your Google.
No, I'm typing on
Oh, I can't
empty.
see. We only see the Google search page.
Oh, let me see. Okay, can you see now?
Can, Doctor.
Um, Adjusting to the stream. Okay, now cities of equal population size 100. So one city that 100 people is useless because we assume no communication within the city. It is we made that assumption. So two cities, how many possible link? So two cities of we have A which is 100 people and B we have 100 people there. There are possible link. Okay, person number one communicating with person number one in city B, and then person number one in city A communicating possibility, okay, with person number two, person number one in A with person number three, person number one, and so on until 100. And person number two in A communicating with person number one in city B, person number two with number two here, and so on. So we have the possible link of links equals 100 times 100, which is 10,000. 10,000 links, possible links. Links. So add one more city, three cities. C. C. Oh, also 100. C. So we have here already the link over here. Can I really draw? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, no.
Press the cursor button.
Here?
Cursor to the left. The leftmost. Yeah,
Oh,
that one.
okay.
So if you want a straight line after this, you can also use that
Okay,
ruler.
now, okay, I learned something.
It's okay.
Possible links will be that what you have already, which is 10,000, you take that one, 10,000. Okay, wait, now. Oh, wait. I want to draw for A, okay, A. You take that one, already there, A to B, already there, same. And now you add one more straight line. Oh, which is 10,000 and 10,000. How is that formula? Oh, get out first.
$100 million.
No. Possible links equals, you see, 10,000 already there. There. You take this. This is already there. 10,000. A and B. A and B here, 10,000. Plus, this is the n to the power of 2. Oh, yes. Which is, oh, or I type here, n which is equal to 10,000 plus that n, the new one, power of 2. This is the formula. Okay. Now, 4 cities. One more city. 4 cities. These are because I'm teaching online, on the board, I can do this quickly. A, 100 people. B, 100 people. CE, 100 people. D, 100 people. How many possible link now? So we, okay, for A, one link, which is 10,000, which already B, C, C just now, this already available. C, that, oh yeah, which is, oh, must get out. How much is it? 10,000 plus 10,000, 20,000. Which we can write that formula is that one, like this. The formula. Yes. Whatever the link previously, which is 10,000, plus a new one, which is n to the power of 2. Now, with 3 series, we have 20,000 possible links. Bold, I'm going to bold that one. Possible links. Okay, 2 series, 10,000. 3 series, 20,000. 4 series, already existing here, 20,000, okay? 20,000 there. 10,000, which is A to B, 10,000. A to C, 10,000. This is the same as before. This is 10,000, 20,000. So how many connection? It's only 30,000. Look. $10,000, another 10,000, another 10,000, 30,000 only. My student used to make a mistake. They say, oh, this, oh, this. They say 10, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. No, wrong. Wrong because why? For A, for example, this one yes, this one yes, this one yes, this one A, for A nothing to do with A. This is B to C. This one yes, A to D. This one also nothing to do with A because this is C and D. This one nothing to do with A because it is B and D. So only, not 60,000, only 30,000. So if you take similarly, oh, no. No. Oh, yeah, 30,000. Okay, now for B, same thing. Suppose B, 10,000, B to A, B to C, 10,000, B to D, 30,000 also for B. For C, C to A, 10,000, C to B, 10,000, C to D, 10,000, 30,000 also. For D, D to C, 10,000, D to B, 10,000, D to A, 10,000, 30,000, same. So the formula possible link is, oh, must get out. possible number of links is you take that one, the one that you already have, which is from 3 series, which is 20,000 plus n minus 2. No, n minus 2. N to the power of 2. N to the power of 2. Oh, why it becomes smaller? Oh, yeah. N first, the power of 2. See, the same pattern. I want to show you this one. The one that underlined, the same pattern. Without drawing, very quickly, 5 series, because drawing takes time. We can write the same formula. The link will be, possible link will be 20,000 plus n to the power of 2. That pattern, which is 20,000 plus 100 times 100. That formula, the same pattern. See? 5 series, which is already, which is how much? 30,000. Oh, yeah, this 30,000. See, the same pattern, formula. 5 series is what? We take that 20,000 already there with 4 series. No, 30,000 here. Yeah, okay, bold also. So we take that 30,000. This, if you go back here, 20,000 plus 100 plus it. Now, 30,000 plus 100 times 100, the same formula, which is 40,000. 6 series. Now 6 series. How much? Oh, you take that above, you got it already. 40,000 plus 100 times 100, which is 50,000, which is in the form of formula. It is actually that 40,000 plus n to the power of 2, the formula. See the same pattern. 10,000 plus n to the power of 2, 20,000 to the power of 2, 30,000 to the power of 2, 40,000 to the power of 2. One last one for you to really grasp it. 7 series. Last one. I'm not doing that anymore. just to make sure that you understand, the concept of Metcalfe law is the power of 2. 7 cities. Oh, where is it? Where did I go? Seven cities. Oh, equals. You did that one already. 50,000 there. 15 total. Not 15. 50,000 possible links when the cities was 6 cities. 50,000 plus 100 times 100 equals 60,000. See the same pattern, which if we were to write in the formula, this is the formula. 50,000 plus n to the power of 2. So I better give this and save this after the hard work. Metcalfe's law and save it. File, save as. Metcalfe law. Save. Okay. So you see the n to the power of 2. Then now let's go back to my slide. On my YouTube, it's not showing because I cannot put a scene. I have to program ahead of time. Scene 1, scene 2, scene, scene. Any question? I'm going to share back the slide.
Doctor, for this chapter, which topic in the textbook you use?
Which textbook you refer to?
This is not the same textbook as yesterday's class. The one with about the technological progress.
Oh, no. Different.
Oh,
Different.
Okay.
Okay. Now I understand your question. Okay. Now I'm sharing. Share. Yeah. You see, the Metcalfe law built 2 cities connecting 10,000 possible link, and this one here in the bracket here that I replaced this because when I was typing this I didn't type. This is the n to the power of 2. n to the power of 2, the one that I like here, n to the power of 2, n to the power of 2. You always, so that's Metcalfe law. What are we seeing from Metcalfe law? That law gives us the principle of increasing kind of S curve. So increasing return to scale is one of them. You can interpret that one. Explosive growth, another way of looking at it. So, but that network effect, we're referring to the more people use or buy product A, the more people will buy product A. The more people buy product A, the more people will buy product A. The more people, and less number of people buying product B. The more people buy product A, the more people it's like becoming bigger, bigger, bigger. That positive feedback. That's the working of uh, network effects through the Metcalfe law of the power of 2, the square power, n to the power of 2. So it's not a straight line. So that's why this network effects and also complex system is a study of non-linear economics, non-linear increasing returns economics because of the power of 2. Well, if a number, there's a power on that other than 1, because to the power, whatever number to the power of 1, nothing changes, right? As long as power 2, 3, whatever, so it's not linear. So that's what we discussed just now. This is to the square, proportional to the square. This is just I'm listing the type of networks. Physical, like telegraph, cable telephone is network also. Physical, connected. Semi-physical, internet. Internet now, I'm using Wi-Fi, right? It's not connected by wire. Even, yes, wireless internet. It is semi-physical, but I'm using Wi-Fi. My internet service is connected by the wire to Telecom Malaysia by wire. Yeah, that's why semi-physical. And I can communicate that, having communication with all over the world, with a friend in another country. And that connection, there's a under the sea cable. So next one is ultra terrestrial, like satellite, TV, radio, TV waves. You know, oh, sometimes I wonder, you know, radio, TV, there are waves everywhere, even phone waves, all everywhere, but we cannot see it. Uh, how is it affecting our health? Well, that's another story. Social network, who knows who? For example, there's a function of kunduri. Uh, you know, uh, you're invited to for dinner. You also want to know who's going to that dinner. If some famous people will go to that dinner, you want to go. So the famous people going to that dinner becomes an attractor that will induce other who want to attend to come. Information knowledge network will focus on this for our topic on R&D. There's another technology man-made network. For example, rail, power grid for the electricity power supply is power grid also technology man-made. Rail, uh, there's an issue of compatibility coming up in our topic here. that compatibility has been solved. Okay, the meaning of com compatibility, take rail for example. If suppose in Malaysia, the width, the width, wide, how much wide the width of a rail in Malaysia, say whatever, just for the sake of saying here, 1 meter, 1 meter. Suppose in Thailand, 1.5 meter, the width. So train from Malaysia cannot go to Thailand because using different system, using different standard. Uh, the width of the rail, the train rail in Malaysia, I said just now, 1 meter. In Thailand, 1.5. Must stop at the border, cannot go. So they cannot communicate to each other. The rail. Okay. Another one is biological network. You know, DNA is biological network. DNA. Now, type of network: externality, direct, and indirect. Direct ones are telegraphs, telephones, fax machines. These are direct. The value of a product derives entirely from its ability to link with many people having the same good. The more people using phones, or the more people using fax machine, the more value to you having a fax machine. The more people using phones, physical phone, not the handphone, not the mobile phone we're talking here. The more people using or having telephones, land telephones, the more value to you that land telephones. Same with telegraph. These are old stories, right? Telegraph, telephones, land telephone. Second type is of externalities, indirect. Example, computer operating system. Long ago, we're talking about IBM DOS, this operating system competing with Apple operating system. Indirect also. Car market also, indirect. Now, if you talk about today, between Android and iOS, value of a good, value of a product derives entirely from its ability to link to many people having the same product, but they are mediated by market forces. This is example of competition, Microsoft Windows domination versus open source. Why open source? So this is a movement. Open source is a movement against the proprietary companies or proprietary software. What is proprietary? Make money, you pay fees. So this is feeding into the so-called monopoly. Yeah. So open source movement branched from the free software movement. Genio, a project by that person in 1983 at MIT, again MIT, and then became the Free Software Foundation in 1985. They started this free, going against, fighting against the propriety, like Microsoft. Propriety means you have to pay. That money goes to Microsoft. Pay what? Pay license for getting the software. So a movement of open source means that everyone can have it for free, with people using it, those the developers are encouraged to add value, to add on, to improve on the software, because this software becomes public goods. Public good. Everyone can benefit from whatever addition. If suppose I'm a computer scientist, I'm a programmer, so I improved on the free software. I'm an improvement. It's free. My contribution is free. Everyone can benefit from it because free software movement, no fees. Why? Again, let me repeat. They want to break the monopoly of Microsoft, going against, fighting against, running against the propriety like Microsoft, Apple. Apple's its own operating system to open source. And later joined by Linux. You know Linux? Mm. Uh,
Yeah, I know Linux.
yeah. But philosophical conflicts within the movement, especially on ethics versus technology superiority, they're breaking up. So open software initiative by that person or the two, I don't want to mention the name because to save time, uh, led to open source software alternative to free software. Is it compromised or combined? And now, after that, free open source software. So open source is a big thing until today, but it's not big as the proprietary software Microsoft. Almost all over the world. So another example is decline of BMW versus Mercedes-Benz versus Volvo, and more recently, the comeback of BMW. All this we have network effects, network externalities. And let's look at the operating system at that time. The use Windows Vista, Windows XP. This is 2010, outdated, but that was at that time. Windows Vista, Windows XP, other phones, iPhone, Linux, Mac OS, Windows 7. So at that time, Windows XP 52, Vista, okay, there was 2010 data. 2015, Windows, whose window? It's Microsoft. Windows 7, Windows XP, also Microsoft. Windows 6, 8.1. So Microsoft. Windows Vista, oh, wow, look at that. Okay, 2017, Windows. Interesting to know. Mm, let's look at operating system market share in 2022. Windows with market share of 75%, Meaning to say, my notebook here, your notebook, our PC at UKM all run mostly using Microsoft. Maybe at a computer center, and only at a computer center there, a number, not many, Apple, but mostly, so all over the world, the whole world using 75% Microsoft Windows, followed by OS 15. And this means that Windows has the slight rebound compared to the, okay, just want to know, that's all. So what we're saying, it is self-reinforcing, positive feedback. Network externality is self-reinforcing. The more people buy Mercedes-Benz, the more people buy Mercedes-Benz, and the more people buy Mercedes-Benz, the more people buy Mercedes-Benz. Give bigger, 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 and positive feedback, bigger, bigger. So self-reinforcing. The more people buy Mercedes-Benz, the more people buy Mercedes-Benz, and the less now people buying BMW. Negative feedback for BMW, positive feedback for Mercedes-Benz. The more people use Microsoft, the more people use Microsoft. The more people buy PC with Microsoft, the more people buy PC with Microsoft inside as a software. The less people buying PC with Apple PC. So, but next coming up, what I say, but I want to say this. Apple was a company that was dead, but came back again from death in 2007. Dead in a way because of the competition between the operating system. Coming up, slide. So if large number of people buy the good, other people are more likely to buy that good, that product. If people don't buy the product, other people become also not buying the product. So both success and failures tend to be self-reinforcing. The word self-reinforce means if you succeed, you will succeed and succeed again and succeed again, succeed again. If you fail, you will fail and fail again. So success breeds success, failures breeds failures. So to succeed, there's a critical mass, the threshold number or threshold size of the market. So that what we call critical mass. Once the product pass that critical mass, it's going to take off. That's exponential. The word exponential. Why exponential? Go back to Metcalfe's law. N to the power of 2. That's exponential, not a straight line. Exponential increase. Example of fax machine, 1843, long ago. Fax machine invented by this person, and 1925, AT&T, American Telegraph and Telephone Company, introduced wire photo service using fax technology. But due to the inertia, this is physics, okay? Newton's law of inertia. Something, if it's constant, not moving, is going to be constant and not moving unless outside forces onto it. Something which is moving continue to move unless outside forces is inserted on, is put into it. For example, resistance. Due to the inertia, to pass the critical mass, only by 1980 fax machine became widespread. But once past that critical mass, sudden explosion and exponential. This is the characteristic of network economics. Positive feedback. That's exponential line of increase, the growth in the market. In 1984, Sharp, a Japanese company, introduced a low-cost machine, fax machine, 80,000 sold in the first year alone. Critical mass also in email, internet, and yes, internet as well, yes. But the perhaps remember when we saw Metcalfe, he wrongly predicted about the internet. So something about the internet that critical mass easy to achieve perhaps, but the network effect once that critical mass has been passed, that network effect has become very, very strong. The power of that network effects is very strong. So that's where Metcalfe. Yeah, Metcalfe also made several predictions which failed to come. He failed in that prediction, including forecasting the demise of the internet during the 1990s. He forecasted the demise, the end of the internet. He was wrong, despite his being the father of the concept of network effects. Even the name given to him based on his name, Metcalfe law. Because what I said just now, perhaps for the internet to be widespread because of the cost, but that cost can be very quickly recovered because of the technology of networking itself. And then once that it passed the certain number of users in the world, that number of users, we call it just now the term critical mass. How many people needed in the world to be using the internet? That number of people, how many people needed for the internet to grow? That number of people, that's what we call critical mass. Once it passed that number, explodes, increase tremendously the use of internet. So my argument here, roughly, the cost of internet provision is quickly being recovered, number one. Number two, the power of the network effects is strong, so strong. Once that critical number is passed, the explosive or the exponential increase is very strong. That's why I think he failed in his prediction. I don't know, I have to read, okay, why he predicted that way. That's another story. So we don't want to get into that. It's not in our class. So first email sent in 1969. 1970s, 80s, only professors in the United States used email communicating among them only, among the professors, not professor with student, only among the professors, using the .edu, .edu. Early 1990s, only a handful of people online. By 1996, which is during the .com era, .com, .com, C-O-M, internet has become widespread. Not only microelectronics technology became the factor, but more importantly, this internet usage increased exponentially because of the network effect. Email also, same, email and internet. So we discussed just now email, the use of email. Long ago, when in the beginning, yeah, that's another story. Software. Um, Before the Microsoft, there was WordPerfect, and then after WordPerfect, another thing, yeah, that's Microsoft. So words in the past, if you if you're a professor, if you organize a conference, or if you're a government officer or whatever, when you ask people to send a file, always underneath, please send file in the form of Microsoft Word. Today, there's no such thing anymore that you have to remind, or there's a little thing, because at that time there was an issue of compatibility, just like the rail that I mentioned just now, between Malaysia and Thailand. It's not true. I just make up a story, okay? Not true. The rail in Malaysia is wider, Thailand is narrower, so they cannot communicate each other, not compatible. Even uh, mobile phone in 1990s, if you are, this is 1991, okay? 1991, 1991, yeah, 1991. If you are using 010, 010 is Atur, A-T-U-R, Atur by Telekom Malaysia. You use the number 010, you cannot call to people using 017, for example, another company. There was the issue of compatibility, or cannot communicate between the two standards coming up in the slide. So we're talking about standard, and that issue has been resolved. So coming up in the slide. So threshold size. So just now, critical mass. When I mention critical mass, it's got to do that threshold size. For a given individual, is the minimum number of current members in the network that leads me, that individual, me, to join the network. That minimum number, that when I see, 20 people come, okay, I want to go. That gathering there, only 10 people come, I don't want to go. 20 or 30 people come. 30 people come, okay, I go. So that minimum number, at least 30 people go to that function, to that gathering, at kedai mamak, whatever, gathering of, same school, same high school before. Only 5 people come. No, I don't want to go. It's too far. And then I have to drive, for example, 3 hours or 5 hours. That's too far for me. But if 50 people come, I want to go. That 50 number, 50 people is the minimum number. That's the threshold size, network size, for example. So small changes in cost or quality lead to market suddenly explode. That's the characteristics of network effects. Conditional users join in when new threshold size decreases. That number decreases. Just now I said 50. Conditional users, conditional goer there, only will go to that function if that threshold size, the critical size, for some reason, they make that gathering is nice. Why? Just attraction of kambing golek bakar. Oh, when I hear kambing golek bakar, uh, uh, lamb. Oh, I want to go. I want to go. That conditional use size has now reduced, not 50, maybe 15. Maybe, oh, I want to go. I want to go. The conditional user will join in, will go there to that gathering, will join in. In our case here, we're talking about will buy a product. Conditional user will buy a product, will purchase a phone, will purchase a technology product, because network effects has got to do with technology products. Will purchase a product when new threshold size decreases due to technology or the cost. Due to technology, the one I mentioned just now, they offer better specs, better features. Just now, I give you example of kambing bakar. Oh, and the cost, maybe they give me subsidy half of the petrol paid by the you know the alumni. So decreases below to the number of unconditional demand by the unconditional users, below 50 just now. Now 15, 15 I want to go already. Conditional, unconditional. To make you understand conditional and unconditional. Last year, the year 2023, I became an unconditional purchaser of Samsung Galaxy Note 23. Very expensive. It came to the market, I bought it without waiting. So conditional buyer, buyer will wait. Okay, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra launch today. I want to wait. Maybe another brand, Huawei or Apple will launch a better product. Maybe I wait. At the end of the year, this Samsung Galaxy Note, Galaxy S23 Ultra will become cheaper, discount. At the end of the year, maybe I wait for like today, like this week. In January, the first week of January, this is really happening. Cars, I don't want to mention. Car, I want to mention the brand. If you buy in a car in October, November, December, you'll be sorry. That model of 2023 model, this week, first week of January, and the whole of January, okay? 1 month of January, that 2023 model discount 3,000, 5,000. Oh, I bought it in November. I bought it in December. Now, if I just wait few more weeks, I'm buying it in January, I get 5,000 discount, 10,000 discount. That's what we call conditional user. Well, wait, okay. Wait until the end of the year, maybe Samsung S23 Ultra will reduce in price. No, I became an unconditional user. Unconditional user. Launch, I bought it. Unconditional. Conditional, will wait. I didn't wait. So critical mass. So you understand now the word conditional and unconditional? I'll give you unconditional love. Critical mass. Tech improvement first lead to a gradual increase in the size of network. Mother will always give unconditional love to children. Will lead to first to gradual increase in the size of network, but when the network reaches certain critical mass, here at this point here, it will explode. This is exponential. This is the critical mass. If I want to, I hope you can see my cursor. At this, after this critical mass, explosion, exponential. And you notice here, it is an S curve. This is typical of technology product. Introduced and then exponential growth and mature and decline. So an S curve. Next is tipping. When positive, tipping is A or B. That's tipping. Tipping here is not tip that you go to restaurant after eating. When you pay, you give tips to the waiter. No, not that tipping. This tipping, imagine the tip of a pen. This the tip pen where you write. That's the tip of a pen. That tipping is either A or B, either Mercedes-Benz or BMW, either Samsung phone or Apple phone, either Samsung or Huawei, either Apple or Xiaomi. So when positive feedback, which is due to network externalities, causes consumers to swing to one of the two competing goods or technologies. Good example was VHS versus Betamax. This is classic. You were not born yet in 1980s. Video rental store. 80s, 90s. Example of video rental store images. It's a chain like McDonald's. McDonald's burger. This is to rent video. And now no more. This is the 1980s and 1990s. No more because of the digital technology. This is wiped out, and we learned this in our last topic, which is disruptive technology. This is video. This is a shop, a store, a chain like McDonald's. Blockbuster Video in Bangi, Blockbuster Video in Kajang, in Putrajaya, everywhere, which is not true. This is United States. This is which is VCR player. I have to show this because you don't see it. You were not born yet. This is how people watched movie at that time in 1980s and 1990s. This is the tape. The movie is recorded here, tape, and this is VCR player. After VCR, there's DVD. DVD is later in early 2000 only. And then after that CD, this is VCR player. So in VCR player, so you see the player and the tape go inside. This is the tape. So we go to the store just now. Remember, I show you the store to rent this thing, to watch movie, whatever movie. Jurassic Park at the time was famous movie in 1989. Jurassic Park. This is the tape. So the case was VHS. There are two competing standards. Yeah, standards. Two competing technology or standards, which is VHS versus Betamax. Betamax by Sony only. And must remember, Sony was the king of TV in 1980s. 1990s also. At that time, still non-digital. I cannot get. Yes. During the analog era, I got the word now. Sony was the king of TV in the world during the era of analog technology. But when we get into the digital technology era, Sony became no more king in TV. So let's go back. VHS, the technology, the player itself, you know, the VCR player, the player, VCR, video cassette recorder, VCR, video cassette recorder, VHS type or Betamax type. There are two competing types only, technology or standard. VHS is backed by many companies, you know, Sharp, whatever the player, you know, the brand player, Sharp, Sanyo, Philips, yes, the brand by many companies that make the video cassette recorder player, VHS, VCR player. Different name, different brand, okay? Philips, GE, General Electric, Sanyo, but Sony alone, going alone. Now, happening. Apple, here, Apple is going alone, handphone, versus Android. Apple, what is it? iOS, operating system. Standard or operating system here. With a phone today, I'm talking about today, okay? Right now. iOS, Apple only, going alone. Android, which belongs to, you know, Google bought Android. Now, Android belongs to Google. It is used by many, including Samsung or whatever else, Oppo, or using Android versus iOS, Apple only alone, going alone. So let's look at history in the past. So maybe you want to use history to project to the future for our video assignment or other side to the assignment. So can you see this class is very interesting. It applies the theory of technology to explain the happenings of today and to the future. That's why if you see my social media description, I put myself on Facebook, my intro. I'm a futurist on technology, futurist. My Instagram also, futurist, my link or whatever. Futurist on technology, because applying of the theories of what's happening today and projecting to the future regarding technology and technology products. That's, I think this course is interesting. So the result, Betamax, which is Sony, developed by Sony. So Sony produced the VCR player, video cassette recorder player, using Betamax technology, and also produces its own tape, Betamax tape. So you go out there, you want to buy a tape, which is can be a empty tape so that you can record. What is empty? Blank tape. You have to choose. You have to tell the shopkeeper, I want VHS. I don't want Betamax. Because incompatibility, not compatible, just like the railroad, Malaysia and Thailand. My story that I make up, not true. Railroad, Malaysia and Thailand, the same size, the same width. Because if you have a Betamax VCR player, you cannot use VHS tape. If you have VHS type of video cassette recorder player, you cannot use Betamax tape, not compatible. So Betamax lost despite better technology, better picture, more clear picture, better technology, because many video rental store that I show you just now carry or sell or provides VHS, because many people use VHS because it's cheaper. The tape is cheaper, the player is cheaper. So many people, the more people use VHS, the more people use VHS, the more people use VHS, the more people buy VCR player with the technology of VHS, the more people buy that one. More people buy that one. And less people buy Betamax, less people buy Sony VCR. So positive feedback for any brand, backed by many brands, many companies, many brands. Philips using VHS, VHS. Sanyo using VHS, GE and other. So positive feedback for that type of VCR player. Negative feedback for Sony. So Betamax lost despite that better technology, because many video rental store carry VHS because of many people use it. So companies only produce VHS tapes. It is a cycle of positive feedback, self-reinforcing. Yeah, self-reinforcing. Positive feedback for VHS player and tapes. Negative feedback, on the other hand, negative feedback for Sony players, VHS players, and Sony Betamax tape. Oh, I'm gonna have to quickly finish this one. So companies only produce. So in the end, many movie producer will be able to sell movies recorded in a VHS technology, not in Betamax technology. It's a cycle positive. So more recently, HD, at the time of my writing, HD versus Blu-ray technologies, which has won? Looks like at that time it was at one time it was Blu-ray, and in the end HD become a standard. But again, this is DVD player. After VCR player, VCR. Listen to me, VCR. After that, that product has become obsolete. Pupus, no more. Replaced by DVD player. Now, no more DVD player. YouTube, you don't know. With YouTube today, you don't need a DVD player. You can watch YouTube for free. Free because companies do advertisement on YouTube. So we as a consumer watch YouTube for free. Other people are paying. Okay. So there's a tipping. So tip of either product A or B, for example, just now, Mercedes-Benz, positive feedback, negative feedback for BMW, positive feedback. So tipping is really happening for technology products. That happened already in search engine. Google became the winner. Yahoo was the came even before Google. But Yahoo today, what happened to Yahoo as search engine? So that tipping. The more people use Google, the more people use Google. The more people use Google, the more use people. Less people use Yahoo. Plus, that's the bundling strategy by Google. Once you use Google, you have Gmail, you have Google Map, you have other things. You have Google Meet, Google One, many things. That's why we call strategy of bundling. Bundling, bundle. You know, bundling together. So this is my note, not related to our class. For mankind in jinn, progression is either Jannah, or Annar, hell, depending on how we conduct our life today and the mercy of God. So tipping also in our life, whether you become successful or a failure, tipping. So we choose how we want to be, how we conduct our life. So that's not related to our course. I just added okay there. Since I put it there, I just explain. So tipping is about the choice between two technologies or between two products or between two operating system like Android or iOS. And this can be applied to, for our video assignment, we know that the current technology and current equipment to produce advanced microchips to the nano size of 2 nano size, and the printing of that circuit is now using the photolithography technology, the ultraviolet photolithography technology, and only one company that is producing that equipment today, which is ASML from the Netherlands. Uh, well, that technology is not because of ASML alone has the knowledge. No, because of the cost. So many components, big. That machine is so big. Uh, the cost, the price of that machine. You know, you want to know the price of that machine? $1.3 million, not $1,000. More than $1 million. The price of that machine, more than 1 million US dollar. 1 million US dollar. So we're talking about 4.5 million ringgit. What a house is that? A house worth 4.5 million ringgit house. So how expensive it is? A machine, ultraviolet photolithography machine. To do what? To the printing of the circuit to the very, very small size accordingly to they're working now, companies are working into 2 nanometer size. Samsung's already working on 3 nanometer size, is already producing. So what I'm saying about for our video assignment, you have to think about a new, it's already talked about. If you read more in the articles that I will point out those articles that I put on my Instagram and also on my Facebook. I'll point out to you again, after this, which one is it. So companies are now trying to find another way of producing semiconductor microchips. So that was RICV that I put on my RICV. RISC-V is an open source type of thing, movement again. That's number one, the technology for the production of microchips. That's number one. Number two, computer also. Companies are already working on new type of computer. One of them is called quantum computer. Quantum computer, which will be totally, completely new way of computing. The motherboard is different. Now the motherboard is going back and forth, back and forth. The circuit, the electricity circuit. That's why it takes is slow and use a lot of energy. Electricity. So our notebook is very hot. But quantum is a new uh, architecture of computer. So they're working on it. So these are new technology. I even for car also, Toyota. I put on my Instagram and my Facebook, Toyota. Everyone is working on electric vehicle today. But Toyota, remember, Toyota is one of the first that started with hybrid. What is hybrid? Oil and also battery. Toyota with Toyota Prius became among the first that was hybrid. Now Toyota does not want to go invest money in electric cars. Toyota invested money now, is investing money in hydrogen engine. Because Toyota boss says all over the world is going toward carbon neutrality. You know, if electric car, you need electricity, right? You burn oil or coal to produce electricity. If all over the world you're using electric car, still we're not, freeing ourselves, the world, from the carbon being produced into the environment, the smoke, everything. Because to produce electricity, more electricity needed to be provided, to be produced, because everyone is using electric car or vehicles. So Toyota, forget about electric car. We want hydrogen or new type of engine. Even Hyundai, Korea is now working on engine. Water become a source of engine, source of in the engine, replace oil. How can that be? Water, maybe to change the water into the hydrogen or what? I have to read more on that. I cannot explain more. Time limitation, okay? So, okay, quickly finish this topic. Competition in the face of network instabilities, emphasis on building sales, users, network, even at the expense of short-term profits. So, need to lose money to make money. Example, Adobe. In the past, in 1990s, late 1990s, before that, we don't have the word in the dictionary even, virus. And the word virus came after computers became malfunction because of something in the program. So the terminology came to be known as virus. You need the what we call this, antivirus. So Adobe, all these specific, all these companies that provide antivirus, they give it for free in order for people to start using. And then if you want to get a better uh, package, you have to pay. So need to lose money to make money. So Adobe PDF at that time, yes, Adobe PDF, give it for free. But now PDF, the advanced one, the free one is not. It's just enough. You need to pay if you want to use more advanced functions. So what was it? That competition in face of network externalities. Why? You want to build your network of users, network of users. You want to have your users, more users, because the more people use your product, the more people use your product. The more people use your product, the more. So you need to you need to build that network of users. That's the type of competition with network externalities, different from regular product like vegetables or whatever, rice. No, this is technology product. Apple's big mistake. Okay, I want to finish this chapter tonight. Um, I'm going slowly because I think that I need to give you the whole complete understanding of the some of these are in the past history. We learn from history for now and to the future. So Apple big mistake. Nothing there for Apple Macintosh, window and mouse. Introduce window and mouse. Steve Jobs knew Apple's tech is superior, so he charged very high price, premium price, high price. So people will not buy high price. So Apple failed to recognize, he failed to recognize the network externalities working against them. So people stick to the low price DOS, which Microsoft. So the more people buy PC with Microsoft, the more people buy PC with Microsoft. So less people buy Apple PC. So when Bill Gates come up with Windows, when Bill Gates come up with the Windows, people adopted MS Windows due to cost of adoption, which is cheaper. And if you change to other costly cost adoption, other software, and this created network positive feedback for Bill Gates, which is Microsoft, plus the brain of Bill Gates. He bundled. Once you have Microsoft, you have Excel, you have other things bundling together. Excel, you can do this, you can do this. Because before that, I was using WordPerfect for to write essay. I can write only essay. For table and the numbers, math, I must use Lotus 123. So my professor, I have to submit my assignment. I have to submit two files. One WordPerfect, which is only the letter, the table, everything, the number. Another file. They cannot communicate with each other. Different software, WordPerfect and Lotus 123, 123. Different company. So with Microsoft, Bill Gates, the brain in Bill Gates, came up with a bundling of, okay, you have words, you have Excel, and you can save the file in just one file. They communicate with each other right inside. So I submitted my assignment. I print to the professor. Oh, this is the from Lotus 123, the name Lotus 123, and this is from WordPerfect. They're not. I cannot put in between the table. This is essay and table in between, graph in between. Cannot separate at that time before window. So this is from my experience. At the time I was in 1986, 1986, 1983. My first degree I began in 1983. My first degree. By 1986, I was using PC at the university. In 1986, I could submit. No, not yet. 1986, the two separate files. 1988, yes, together in one file. After the widespread use of Microsoft. Issue, so almost to the end. So what are the issues with network externality? Number one, issue of monopoly. Because of positive feedback. The tipping, remember? More people buy Microsoft, more people buy PC with Microsoft, more people buy this. In the end, the court case against Microsoft, was broken up into, to break up the monopoly. We don't want to get into that. So that's number one thing. Antitrust policy in the US is called antitrust, which is anti-monopoly. In other countries, there's anti-monopoly law. The name in Malaysia, anti-monopoly law. In the US, it is called antitrust law. Same thing, monopoly, anti-monopoly, antitrust. Second issue, standards. Just now, the rail. Wider Malaysia, narrower in Thailand. Standards. VHS, Betamax. Blu-ray, HD. Now, standards. Android versus iOS. So with the phone, I remember I said if you're using in Malaysia 101, you cannot communicate with 107 by another company. Telecom phone, mobile phone, okay, by provided by Telecom Malaysia cannot communicate with another company. I forgot the name. So to solve that problem, example, European decision at the end of 1980s to adopt the continent-wide continent, the whole continent of Europe, not just in France, not just in UK, not just in Portugal, whatever, or Spain, the whole continent of Europe. The European countries' decision at the end of 1980s to adopt the whole continent of Europe widespread GSM technology that allows communication of phones, mobile phones in Europe. Another interesting until today QWERTY. If you look at your notebook, that's how your handphone also, the keypad on your handphone is a QWERTY. Look at your notebook now, how it is arranged. QWERTY, the QWERTY problem. Still used until today. Stick to the old inferior standard because long time ago, typewriter having this, typewriter, if you can see my hand, boop, boop, A, B, C, D. So when you push quickly, for example, QWERTY, why? It is QWERTY. It is arranged that way to reduce the possibility of that word having words in English. For example, I and S, I is, or R, A-R-E, R. A cannot be near R. R cannot be near E. Sorry. I, for example, is. Usually is, yeah? I must be far away from S because will break. Long time ago, typewriter, you type I. You want to write is, which is IS. Okay. Uh, you push the letter I. I has not come up to its location, and you push already. S will break, patah. That's why the layout of the keyboard is to reduce that having, the English word together. That's why QWERTY. So until today, that's QWERTY. That arrangement is inferior. 2 days ago, I read, which I have to read again. There's a new layout now of a keyboard. That was 2 days ago news. Issues still. Intellectual properties, patent, copyright has a major impact on R&D and innovation. This is because of high fixed cost. When you want to start something, the cost is very high. You start a movie, for example. How much a movie? You spend 1 million ringgit for a movie. But once that you produce the movie into a CD, people will copy it at low cost. The price of a CD, how many cents? Today, you don't pay anything. You copy movie from the internet. High fixed cost, so that's issue of copyright because of high fixed cost but low or zero marginal cost. Once the technology, once the product is come up, so that characteristic of high fixed cost but low marginal cost is the characteristic of technology products and information goods like movies, songs, you can copy. mean, and finish. Yeah. Oh, wow. So I think this is the last one. How networks economics affect R&D? Spatial agglomeration of information, knowledge networks in cluster connected with other clusters. That's why there is a Silicon Valley. They cluster there. Companies, tech companies cluster because of the externality, the spillover of technology through contract research, through formal and informal. Informal, I go to a coffee shop, I go to a restaurant, I happen to speak to. That's why, you know, companies like Google, whatever, they make their own campus. Why they make their own campus? They want to make sure their people, workers, have lunch within the campus of Google so that they don't go out there at McDonald's and meet other people, other companies will do the spying of technology. They'll be talking about their, secret. No, no, that's right. They make their own campus. Samsung also. I remember Google or Apple, whatever, round like this. They're building round. Silicon Valley Research Triangle Park in North Carolina, I-28 Boston because of MIT, Cambridge, and Malaysia Technology Park in near Bukit Jalil, Cyberjaya. So, question mark, whether successful or not. So we have limited time, so I'm going fast. It is the application of network economics onto the geographical space, which is proximity near to each other plus connectivity. Not only they are near to each other, but they are interacting among each other, the firms. Connectivity, this lead to propinquity. Proximity plus connectivity equals propinquity. With propinquity becomes innovation. Innovation can prosper. Innovation can occur with propinquity. Propinquity comes from proximity, which is in cluster, like one place, and not only being in one place, like Cyberjaya. Why I put question mark in Cyberjaya? Because they are there simply because to get the incentive of no tax for 10 years. If you're designated as a multimedia super corridor company, just being there in Cyberjaya. But they're not really interacting among each other in the companies in Cyberjaya. So lacking the connectivity. So Cyberjaya is not successful because no connectivity within and less also connecting outside with outside. Is it here? Oh my God, I have more. So network economics works through the concept of emergence. Finally, emergence. This we will study in complex system. What is emergence? Think of coffee, think of tea, think of salad, think of penyapu lidi. Emergence. You take a pencil. This is a pencil. Suppose 2, 3 pencil here. It's not strong, but you tie together like penyapu lidi becomes strong. That strength, previously weak, now strong. That strong, we call it emergence. Emerge a new property, a new characteristics. After you tie together, lidi becomes strong. And the concept of emergence, the whole is greater than sum of its part. The whole is greater than, which is 1 plus 1 plus 1 is not 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is can be anything. 7, 9, 21. Because the whole is greater than the sum. That's coming to another topic, which is complex system. Implication to Randy, last, finally, need a robust national, regional information system, university, industry, public research institute, and networking, which is we need the connection, university and industry and public research. End of presentation. Thank you. So I have to stop here. Now,
Oh.